Hey guys, it's Ojiman, and we're back with another Japanese YouTuber of the week. I bet you guys thought, after the last video, considering my recent, history, you thought I'm going to make one video and probably just disappear for the next fucking 6 months, but no, we're actually going to keep going with this. So today, we're going to be talking about Asakura Mikuru.
皆様ごきげんよう。陰キャの朝倉です。
He's a YouTuber that I've known for forever, like four years now, I reckon. I've been watching him. I think I would have found him on YouTube like around the time when he started, but pretty much he's a Japanese MMA fighter. Started off in like real low league, like backyard underground MMA in Japan. Was like, one of those like Borsals like Yankee kind of like real like, he's like a little eshe, for those of you who understand Australian slang. He's like this little eshe kid, grew up, became an MMA fighter, and now he's making YouTube videos. And in these YouTube videos, what he got popular for on YouTube was he was going around the streets, finding all these like little delinquents, these little young, like the Yankee, like little eshe kids on the street. Like, hey, if you've ever been to Japan, all the Japanese blokes, blonde hair, like in the like, they look like they're trying to be bikers, but they don't know what bikers should look like. So they just dye their hair blonde and try and look tough, and they smoke cigarettes on the side of the street and catcall girls. That's the sort of, those guys, if you've ever been in Japan, you'll know what I'm talking about. But those sort of like eshe cunts that are on the side of the street, he went up to them and he's like, oh, you guys think you can fight? You think you guys are tough? I'm an MMA fighter. Come back to my gym, let's spar. And he'd go and just fuck these dudes up. It was so funny when he was making this. This is what he blew up from, right? He'd be just like, he'd just take them back to his gym and beat the fucking life out of them.
Win now! Win now!
お疲れ。お疲れ。
久しぶりだ。今なんかスパーリングインタッチマンとやろうみたいな。YouTube で撮って。友達？やる？スパーリング。完全にやりたいです。
What he's doing currently mostly is like, I haven't really been keeping up a huge amount with his YouTube channel. Like I've still watched a lot of it though, but like what he does is he's got this show. It's almost like a reality show called Breaking Down. And so what it is, you get all these like random cunts from around Japan, whether it be like TikTokers, like bikers, or like celebrities, whatever, like minor celebrities. And he gets them all together. They do these like little auditions pretty much, where they try and get onto the show. And then whoever gets on, they have like press conferences and shit, and then they fight each other for like, it's the weirdest rule set for those of you who like fighting. Like what it is, right? It's in a cage, so in an octagon with the 7-ounce gloves. So not the 4s that the UFC fighters fight in, but the little puffy MMA gloves, the open finger ones. And it's in them, and there's a 1-minute fight. I think it's 3, I can't remember if there's rounds or not, but they've got like, it's like a 1 minute, I think it might depend, but sometimes there'll be like 3 1-minute rounds, or I think it might just be even a lot of it's just 1-minute fight. And they just go fucking mental. These guys have no training. It's like you can get these like TikToker girls who just come out, like full like, those like kuro gyaru and like those kind of chicks come out MMA glove and just fucking bang on a bit, and they like go crazy. It's so funny to watch. But yeah, I really recommend this guy, guys. Like as well, like if you're just looking at it from a language perspective, he's one of those channels, where like even if you don't fully understand him, you're gonna find these videos interesting, right? Because there's so much shit going on, fighting and all this and that, especially if you're an MMA fan or just like want to watch that sort of stuff. I don't know. He doesn't just appeal to people who like traditional MMA because it's got that sort of like, it's just kind of funny, to be honest, seeing these random guys try and bash each other and go at it at a press conference. But he's got so much other stuff going on. It's not just talking. Like, you know how it is probably. If you guys are like new to the language, or I suppose everyone's new to the language at some point, so you'll all understand, right? You chuck on a podcast or something, you start listening and you're like, I don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about. You sit there and you're like, what even is going on? And you sit there, you put your earphones in, you're like, oh yeah, some active immersion time, guys. Stick in the podcast because it's good long form conversation. I'm going to listen for 6 hours straight now. And you sit down and within 6 seconds, you're like, I've completely fucking tuned out and I'm staring at the wall wondering how long ago it was painted or some dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? Because you don't understand anything. How are you supposed to focus on just like white noise? You know what I mean? It's like trying to like genuinely sticking on white noise, trying to analyze what it sounds like. It makes no sense. So there's no way you can fucking concentrate on that for a long period of time. Honestly, more than like 5 seconds if you don't understand anything. Especially if it's like day one learning the language. What are you going to stick on fucking Japanese and sit there for 6 hours a day listening to it? Fair enough, you go about your day, you're doing, you know, washing the dishes, fucking doing whatever. You can have it in the background and listen to it and you'll be all right. But if you're actually just going to sit down and try and like actively like concentrate on it and learn from it, that's just not the way to go. Even other YouTubers who just sit there and they're like, you know, like, hey, don't do this, and just sit here and fucking talk shit at 100 miles an hour about whatever with shit audio quality or whatever, you're not going to understand it. But with Mikuru, this cunt, fuck, he's perfect because he's got so much shit going on in the YouTube videos that it's hard, you know, not to be engaged in it. So at least when you watch it, you're engaged in the content. And because you're engaged in the content, naturally you're listening to what's going on and you're concentrating on that, trying to understand it. There's writing coming up, all this and that. But the main thing is it's interesting, so you can sit there and watch it. That's the main value of this, in my opinion, is that you can actually sit down, watch it, and be engaged in it without, you know, just zoning out for every 2 fucking seconds. And here's a little funny story, actually, guys. You know this dude Mikuru that I was talking about? I've actually met the cunt before. So what happened, right, is that I had a mutual friend with the dude. So when I went to Japan, they offered for me to come train with him. And I was like, well, no way am I actually going to be able to fucking train with this dude. And I rock up, go there, and they're like, yeah, just meet us at this place. And I go to his gym, and I met the cunt, yeah? And at this point, I was like, this is the first time I've been in Japan, and I was like a bit starstruck because I watched this cunt for ages, right, on YouTube. I talked to him, and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, probably because he, you know, he bashes a lot of people on his fucking, you know, YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a bit of a hard ass or something. Met the dude, nicest dude ever. I sparred him and all this and that. We did some training together, and didn't kill me, which was nice. I thought he was going to fucking put my lights out or something. But went there, sparred with him and trained with him. Fucking good bloke, you know. And you know what's really interesting is that when I met him, this was before I started the YouTube or anything, and he actually said to me, he's like, bro, you know, if you're going to be doing fighting and all this and that, you really should do YouTube. He's like, you know, I've gained so much success from doing YouTube, so you should do it. Like, you would probably kick it off because you've got, you know, you speak Japanese, you're Australian, like, I think you do really well, you should start YouTube, right? That's what that cunt told me. So if you like this channel, you better subscribe to him too, because of him, this is here. But yeah, anyway, I'll chuck a link to his channel in the description. So make sure you go check him out. And also, if you guys have any like funny Hello Talk experiences or anything, make sure you join my Discord, or even stick it in the comments, the Hello Talk stories, and I'm going to be reacting to them on a future video. Or join my Discord, put them in there, and you can react to it. You can have a look at everyone else's like Hello Talk stories. There's some pretty fucked ones, to be honest. So if you want to check them out, join the Discord, as well as just like a crazy amount of resources and stuff. So make sure you do that, and make sure you subscribe to this fucking channel so you can stay updated with when these videos are coming out. All right. Okay. Thanks, guys. That's it for this video. See you next time.